In this video, we're going to learn how to update the firmware, which is the software that runs in the Musical Mushroom, to the latest version available. So the first question is, how do I know what version is already running on the Mushroom? So to find out is very simple. We're going to connect an exciter to the Musical Mushroom, just so that we can hear. We're going to switch it on.
Calibration required.
Now I'm going to press menu repeatedly until I hear unit info.
Select Wi-Fi unit info.
Now I'm pressing select and I'm going to listen for the firmware version.
Firmware version 0.1.8 full.
Okay, so I can exit to stop it. And so 018. So that's the current version that's installed in here. So I'm going to switch that off for now and put it aside. Next step is we're going to go to the website to find out what is the current version of the firmware that's available. So first we go to www.musicalmushroom.com and we're going to click on the support button up here. And that takes us to the support page, so I'm already here. And I'm going to just scroll down until I get to the section entitled Musical Mushroom Firmware Update Procedure. Below the video here, it tells me the current version available of the firmware, which is version 0.20, which is newer than 0.18. So I do need to update the firmware here. So if I want to find out what changed since the 0.18, there is a PDF file here with all the details if you're interested. But all I really want to do here is I go and I click on the download button. So that's going to download the current version as a zip file. So I want to now open the folder to see. So I can go and open a Finder window. And then I'm going to go in my downloads folder here. And you'll notice at the top here, there's a file called Musical Mushroom _FW for firmware, and then the version 0.20.zip. So that is a zip file that's been compressed. We need to decompress it into a bin file, which is a binary file. In order to do that, I'm going to hover over it and I'm going to double click. Now when I do that, a window pops up saying unable to expand firmware.bin. It is an unsupported format. Ignore that. That bin file was not a program intended to run on the Mac. It's just a binary data file. It still unzipped it. So I'm going to click OK. Now if I look just below here on my screen, I can see the bin file. fw020.bin. That's the one I want, not the zip. So I'm going to leave that window aside for now. So that's the first step. The firmware is on our computer and it's unzipped and it's ready to go. Next step. The Musical Mushroom, when connected to a computer, so I'm going to, first of all, we're going to leave the exciter connected. The Musical Mushroom is in the off position. I'm going to connect a USB cable to the side of my MacBook. So right here, I've connected it. The other end of the USB cable goes here. Now what I'm going to do is put the Musical Mushroom in the special mode. And this mode is similar to a USB stick. So the Musical Mushroom will appear like a USB stick to the computer. So to do that, I'm going to hold down the menu button. And I'm going to turn on the power while I'm still holding it down until the LEDs become blue. There we go. So now the Musical Mushroom is basically a USB flash drive. And on my desktop here, I'm just going to move this around a little bit. I'm going to make some room. I don't need this window anymore. So up here, you see that there's a new drive called No Name. That's the one. I'm going to double click on that. And again, you could do it by opening a Finder window, and on the left side you'll see there's a drive called No Name. So inside you can tell that's the one you want. There should be only one file called config.txt. That's the file that is used to configure the musical mushroom. You don't need to know anything about that other than it's there. So that's all we need. So we have on the right the window with our bin file. On the left we have the musical mushroom waiting. So what we're going to do now is just hover over, and now the Mac has different ways to drag and drop. On mine I just gently press down and I use my other finger to drag it over, and then when I'm there I let go, and then the process, there we go. So now it says copying mmfw020.bin to no name. This process takes about 5 minutes or a little bit more. You're not going to get a good status update. It's just going to do this for 5 minutes. Don't do anything else. Don't touch anything else. Just walk away and come back in 5 minutes. And then that window will have disappeared. So I'm going to pause the recording and I'll come back once it's done. And during this time, of course, the LEDs are still continuing to be blue. Okay, the process has now completed, so that window kind of disappeared, and now we have our bin file right here on the left. So the first thing I want to do is, before I disconnect the mushroom on a Mac, we need to eject the drive to cleanly be able to disconnect it. So down here where it says no name, there's a little arrow, and I click on it to eject, and there we go. Now I can safely unplug. So what I'm going to do is just switch off. And now I'm unplugging, and I have the musical mushroom and the exciter. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch it on, and what we're going to see a status indicator. The mushroom will detect, there's newer firmware available. I'm going to update myself, and it'll give you a % done with the white LEDs. And when it's done, it's going to reboot, and you should hear the new version.
Firmware version 0.2.0. Full calibration required.
And there you go, firmware 020. That's exactly what we expected. So this unit has now been updated and is ready to go.